My beauty, my style, self-growth, my way.
What's up, babe? Let's go ahead and do this face. But first, do y'all see the blatant disrespect of this period pimple on my face? Okay, I am not feeling it. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the face. As you can see here, these are the products that I moisturize my face with. And just to let you guys know, I will make sure that everything is in the description box below. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off with the brows. Now, as you guys can see, I have thicker, fuller brows. Okay, so I really don't need to do anything very much, but I'm going in with the Lip Bar eyebrow pencil, and I'm just kind of adding a little bit of color. I don't really need a lot. Again, like I said, I have very thick brows, so I don't really need to do much. But if I just go in with a little bit of color, I always brush that out before I put my brow gel on. So as you can see now, I'm putting my brow gel on top. This Lip Bar eyebrow pencil, it's very pigmented. I'm gonna give them that. Okay, so when I put my brow gel on, sometimes like it'll give a little black smudginess, but just wipe that off. You ain't gotta do much, just wipe it off and keep on going. So as you can see, like after I brush my brow gel through, I kind of just sculpt it out on the top of the brow. I give it a little quick fan just because I want that product to really sit in, and that product was Live Tinted brow gel. So next, moving into concealer, I do use two different tones of concealer. I use a skin tone and a brighter one as well. Again, all of these products are listed below, but the darker concealer is the Lip Bar, and then the lighter concealer is Too Faced. I let that concealer sit just for a minute while I put my primer onto my face, because I don't want to, use a whole lot of products. So if you let that concealer sit and just thicken up, you should be able to sculpt out with no problem. When I focus on my primer on my face, I do concentrate right around my nose area and right under my eye. I don't know if you guys caught that, but I do that because those are the areas that my makeup tends to not want to settle in the most, especially around the outer part of my nose. So I just make sure that I focus a little bit of extra primer around my nose area and under my eye. So now that I've let that concealer sit under my brow, I'm going to start by kind of pushing the product downward into my eyelid, and then I kind of sculpt out. So I sculpt my brow out starting in the middle of the brow onto the tail end, and then I go back and actually kind of carve out the front end of the brow. I've always done it like that. It just works. Everybody has their own method of madness, okay? So just do whatever fits, your style or your comfort. So, oh, excuse me. After I brush that down into the eyelid, I'm going to just give it a little quick blend with my beauty blender. So moving on into the face, next I'm going to go ahead and put the concealer under my eye, on my chin, under my nose, and on my forehead as well. As you can see, I gave the concealer like a little wing effect because I just want it to kind of all lift up real nicely. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I used the darker concealer first, which again was the Lip Bar. I forgot what color, but again, I'll make sure I put that below. And then I'm gonna go on top and focus right in the inner corner of my eye with my Too Faced concealer. If y'all know Too Faced products, y'all know Too Faced is about that thing, okay? And they give you full coverage. But I'm using that just to focus on the inner part of my eye so I can really make sure that I have that nice highlighted area. So the next step I did was bronzer. I went ahead and bronzed on both sides of my cheek and under my jaw, is that right? Under my jaw? Anyway, I am excited right here because I had enough of my Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I always mix that with a little bit of my L'Oreal True Match. But as y'all can see here, I used a little bit too much product, but it's okay. Trust the process, okay? Just trust the process with me. But I went ahead and I always focus my foundation on the bottom half of my face. I rarely ever put foundation from the cheekbones up, to be honest, because I have my bronzer right there. I have my bronzer and my concealer on my forehead. Putting foundation up there, to me, it just doesn't make sense. Like now, if I'm doing a full glam, I might go ahead and throw a little bit up there, to be honest. But when I'm doing a regular everyday face like this, I just focus that foundation right on the bottom. When doing the bronzer, as you can see, when I started on my cheeks, I like to push that product upward. And then right here, I'm pointing around my temple area because again, I don't put foundation right there. I just kind of blend my bronzer down, and I'm actually going to go back later on and put a little bit of blush in those spots. But anyway, as I'm blending, I blend upward because I don't want that contour or semi-contour to come downward. I go back with a sponge because I did put a little bit too much bronzer in those spots. So I just go back with a sponge and I clean it up really nicely. I can also do this step when I'm doing my concealer as well, but I do like to just kind of go through with the sponge anyway on top of all of that area that I had my foundation and just kind of blend everything outward. Once I've kind of gone through with that sponge to kind of clear out some of that foundation and really just kind of pat it in nicely, I'll go ahead and I take my beauty blender and I'm starting to blend out all of my concealer areas, focusing like I start from the bottom upward. Again, I don't know why I do that, but just my method of madness. So as I blend out my concealer, you can see here, I'm kind of tapping around that temple area. And that's because like, as you blend that concealer outward, it's gonna leave a harsh line. So I like to take the booty end of my beauty blender. I don't know why I call it the booty end, but the, little fatter end, I just kind of tap it on the outside. I go back with my bronzer brush, kind of work around that forehead area. That way there's no lines of demarcation and everything is blended nicely. And then I kind of go ahead and set and spray into place. You do not have to set right here. It is personal opinion. I just like to do it to make sure that everything is nice in place. After that, I'm going in with a little bit of my blush. I'm not even gonna lie, it's not even a little bit, it's a lot of it, because I am a blush girl, okay? I like my blush. So I am just tapping my blush into place right on top of where I put my bronzer, and I extend that into my temple area. Again, I don't want to move it out of place. I just want to pat it in place because I want it to stay. Again, we have a lot of, we got powder and all of that to put on top, so it's gonna kind of diffuse out anyway. And then I'm gonna just go back with a powdered blush on top just to kind of bring all of that color back out. Once I do that, I am going to go back in with just a little bit of that Too Faced concealer because that is my lighter concealer. And I'm gonna go back into the inner part of my eye and let that set once again. I'll blend that out in a second when I put my powder on. I'm gonna go ahead and take some bronzer powder right here and sculpt out my nose because I wanna do that first before I put that powder on as well, just so I can make sure that I'm sculpting my powder around where the bronzer is on my nose. So after I let that concealer set into my face, I'm going back in with my beauty blender. I'm going to blend that out, and then I'm going to go ahead and set with some powder. I always use my Mercier. I am a Mercier girl. Yes, okay. I set with that powder. I don't use a lot of powder here. I just use enough just to go ahead and set everything in place. I always like to keep a fluffy brush after I do all of my powder because I like to just go ahead and blend everything out. After I set my eyes with my little powder thing for my eyes, my little triangle. What are them things called? Y'all know what they call. Anyway, I take my sponge and I just kind of work around the areas around my nose and my chin. Like I said, I really focus that area around my nose specifically with powder because it does not like to set. I also go around my forehead with that and then take my fluffy brush and just kind of, like I said, blend everything down together. I go back with my sponge and with the little bit of product that's already on there, I like to kind of carve out. Oh my gosh, I'm about to burp. I am so sorry. I like to carve out under my bronzer. That way I can give a little bit of a chiseled look, but not too much. Again, this is like a soft glam, everyday kind of, little situation going on. But I take my sponge, just kind of blend everything out again. And then I go back with my bigger brush as well. So here I'm taking my powdered bronzer this time. The first time I had a liquid, or not liquid, it's kind of cream based. This one I'm taking a powdered bronzer and I'm going back over all of those areas just to kind of warm everything up. And then again, going back with my fluffy brush just to kind of blend everything outward. So I already told y'all I was a blush girl, okay? So now I'm going back on top of the blush area that I had, and I'm adding more blush, okay? Yes, I'm adding more blush because I like blush. But I'm doing that because I'm gonna set my face anyway, and I'm gonna kind of blend it all out. So now it is time to bake, y'all. I like to bake because I know y'all saw I got big bags under my eyes, and when I bake, it helps me kind of, hide my baggages. all of my luggages, okay? It helps me hide everything when I go ahead and bake everything down. But I go ahead in with my bronzer as well during this time, and I kind of make sure that I keep the sculpture of my nose that I want, focusing the powder around that area, and then I kind of go back in just with a little bit more bronzer in case I get a little bit of powder in that area. So not only am I a blush kind of girl, but I am definitely a highlighter kind of girl. And when I say when the gold shimmer just hits my cheeks, okay? I love highlight. I think it's beautiful, okay? So anyway, I am spraying the face down. I'm going to go in and create a nude lip. I have been loving this nude lip. This lip pencil is actually from the Lip Bar as well. And then I have a color from NYX, which I cannot think of it, but like I said, I'll have that in the description box as well. I do the lip, whatever this lip color is, and then I put that NYX butter gloss on top with a little bit of extra gloss, baby. Okay. Lips be pop. I'm just playing. I love the color combo though. It's a really good color from our skin tone. It gives just that real nude. It makes my lips look like they a little juicy, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm just going in with bronzer right here before I put on my eyeliner and my eyelashes. I had forgot to do that. So that's the beauty about makeup and the beauty about being able to approach makeup with whatever, you know, method of madness you want. Some people do things booty butt backwards, and sometimes that is me, okay? It's just me. So this is why you never say never, okay? Because the past 2 to 3 videos, I've been like, I don't want to do tutorials no more. I don't want to do them, blah, blah, blah. But look here, it was a rainy day in the house. I didn't really feel like doing anything, but because I wanted to get some content, I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and do an updated everyday makeup routine video, and I can just do a voiceover and I can still get my content. So here is how the look turned out. I am so excited that I did this video. Y'all know what I'm about to say. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button below, baby. And also make sure that you are paying attention to that notification bell as well. Hit that mug so you can see when the videos is going up on the channel. All right. But anyway, thanks for rocking with me today. Until next time. Bye.